Now another terror attack strikes Afghanistan, this time in a mine blast in Asadabad city, which lies at the center of Kunar province. The mine blast in Asadabad, as per sources, which is an explosion that took place on a Taliban Ranger vehicle near the Korean bridge. 2 people have been reportedly killed and 13 others injured. Government sources say that the police chief of the Shigel district has been killed, and 13 injured include Taliban fighters as well as civilians. Meanwhile, Kabul is under high security alert. The Islamic State's Khorasan province, also known as ISIS-K, has waged a small but highly active insurgency in Afghanistan. Several embassies have issued threat alert advisories. As per the latest reports, Qatar Embassy has shifted their employees to an undisclosed location near the Kabul International Airport in the wake of the security threats from ISIS-K. A couple of days ago, the United States and United Kingdom had warned their citizens against staying in Kabul hotels, especially the Serena Hotel. The American and British citizens had received security alerts to leave the hotels in light of the increased risks. Meanwhile, Pakistan International Airlines has suspended flights to Kabul. Pakistan has accused the Taliban of quote-unquote heavy-handed interference, which includes arbitrary rule changes and intimidation of staff. The suspension comes as the Taliban government ordered the airline to cut ticket prices to what they were before the takeover. Pakistan International Airlines is the only international company operating regularly out of Kabul. Earlier, Afghanistan's aviation minister had slashed 50% manifest from a flight which was in the middle of the checking-in process. This was done without any prior notice, which resulted in 176 people being sent back home, causing nearly $500,000 loss to the airline. The Taliban have been demanding a reduction in ticket prices, which have reached levels increasingly out of reach for most Afghans. The Taliban is on a name change spree after renaming the Hamid Karzai International Airport to Kabul International Airport, the Burhanuddin Rabbani University to Kabul Educational University, and the Masood Square to Public Health Square in Kabul. Afghanistan's new regime has renamed the Kabul's Bush Market to Mujahideen Bazaar. In the heart of the Afghan capital, Kabul's downtown is home to the famous Bush Market, named after the 43rd American president, George W. Bush. A market full of goods from the U.S. bases has sustained itself over the years with supplies from the United States and NATO bases, especially Bagram. From footwear, pistols, holes, binoculars, sunglasses, and military clothes, as well as shoes, electronics, jumpers, and protein and drinks. Now, over the years, these items have become a part of the Afghan lifestyle, especially popular among the youth of the war-torn nation. But supplies have been dwindling in this famed bush market since the exit of the last American soldier from Afghanistan's soil. Now, after almost 2 months of Taliban takeover, the new rulers have finally changed the name of Bush Market to Mujahideen Bazaar. The move is aimed to attract customers, especially the Mujahideen or the Taliban. But it is still not clear whether the Taliban themselves ordered the shopkeepers to change the name or it was done by the shopkeepers to save their businesses. Our correspondent Anas Malik visited the newly named Mujahideen Market to get us this ground report.
Kabul's once famous Bush Bazaar, known for U.S. goods, named after the former U.S. President George W. Bush, at one point of time, which used to have U.S. goods, which were later taken over by Chinese goods, have now been renamed as the Mujahideen Bazaar. This change has been done by the Taliban following the takeover of Kabul. This used to be a symbol where U.S. goods were readily available. Now, Chinese goods have taken over the market. The Taliban are seen shopping here in abundance, in numbers, often looking for items that can be of use to them. Anas Malik in Kabul, Afghanistan for WION World is One.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.